Hi, I'm Victoria Ballou, and thank you for trusting your intuition and coming here in this moment to hear the message that your subconscious has for you. You're here to choose from one of three stacks of cards. Don't overthink it. Allow your intuition to tell you which stack of cards you would like to get your message from. Which one has your message today? Because I guarantee you there is a message for you here under one of these stacks of cards. And while you're choosing, let me remind you that you can get all the information you want about tarot, dream analysis, astrology, and all the other metaphysical sciences from my online magazine, Astrologic. I invite you to subscribe to this because if you enjoy my Meta Minutes and my readings here on this channel, then I know you would enjoy my magazine, because it's not only me writing articles, it is a constellation of the brightest minds in astrology, tarot, and other metaphysics who are contributing every month to it. So, did that give you time to choose your stack of cards? Did you choose stack 1 underneath Vesta, my warrior priestess, or number 2, underneath my fossilized shell, which is millions of years old? Or did you choose the incredible quartz obelisk, who has the most amazing energy attached to it? Let's see what your message is today. And we will begin with the first stack underneath Vesta. We will move her over on my Charter Labyrinth and take a look at the first card, which is your overview. This is your energy from a broad standpoint right now. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so you have the Eight of Swords here in the top deck. It's called interference. So, of course, swords represents the element of air and mental energy. So something is happening right now that is creating some interference for you. It's something that's manageable. That's what I want you to understand if you don't already know. This is something that needs to be dealt with. And if you look at the card here, you can see how you have these two beautiful straight swords that represent the energy of this card. But then you have these 6 curved swords, which are crossing in between and creating the interference. So this is a problem that you have. It could be with someone else, or it could be with something else. But this is an energetic problem that is related to how you're sorting things through in your mind. This is very much an intellectual issue you're dealing with. So that's where you are right now. We're going to take a look at your challenge card, though. As if this isn't enough of a challenge, there is something else going on, and this will give us some insight as to how to deal with this. Let's take a look at what it is. Okay, this makes sense to me. So it's the 3 of discs. It's called works, and discs represent our physical environment. It can represent our bodies. It can represent our place where we're living and working. So for this card to come up here, it just says that you have a lot of energy that you're putting towards something, but it's going in different directions, and there's gradual progress that can be made here. But really, this being your challenge card, what this is saying is if you were to direct your energy into one direction rather than 3, and as you can see here, it's going in 3 different directions, and these amazing wheels spinning off of the pyramid, it's showing that you're really trying here. And I get that. Energetically, I feel that you're really trying at whatever this energy is. You're trying to solve the problem or move forward, but it's being hindered. And really, this is showing that it's because your energy is not on one course. It's actually on 3 courses. And if you think about it, you'll probably go, oh yeah, that is 3 different directions that I'm approaching this from. So your challenge is that your energy is not directed in just one way. But we're going to take a look at the third card, which is your action called for, your course of action that you need to take right now in order to deal with this energy and get it flowing in a very positive and beneficial way, constructive way. Let's see what's going on. All right, well, and so here we have another 8. It's the 8 of Wands. You know, this is called swiftness. And, you know, you had swords, you had discs, and now you have wands, which represents your spiritual realm, you know, that which means a lot to you on a very personal level. And swiftness, of course, means that it's time to put things into action. But also, this card represents the really great potential for miscommunication to be happening here. And so that's what I want you to pay attention to, because it's interesting. You look at these wonderful little arrows coming off of the card and all the little jagged lines, but up here you have the rainbow, right? Which represents success and happiness and all of those good things. Now, again, it's interesting because you have all of this directional energy happening. You had it happening on the 8 of Swords, which represents the interference of something interfering in your process of moving forward. Then you had the 3 of Discs with the energy going in 3 different major directions with a lot of force, but not really directed in just one way. And then you have the 8 of Wands, again, with all this directional energy happening. So clearly what this is saying is you need to bring it all into the alignment of one course, and you need to be very careful that you are communicating accurately, clearly, and that you are listening, you know, on the receiving end of hearing what someone is saying to you, or maybe more than one person. Actually, it feels like more than one person. And this could be related to a group enterprise, some sort. It feels like it's a group that we're working with here. And the energy needs to be funneled into one complete way. So let's take a look at these cards really quickly, because here it's really fascinating what the lineup is here. Because, yes, here we have these 2 straight swords with the 6 coming through it and interfering with the energy, the flow of direct energy. And yes, here's the energy going, being used, being sent out, but it's not coordinated. And then here's the energy that's also going out in all these directions. But you see this wonderful rainbow here, which says, yes, there is success to be had here. And it needs to happen quickly and with very direct communication. That is key. So, from a dreaming standpoint, I would think that you are dealing with a matter revolving around regarding miscommunication. And for sure, one of the symbols in your dreams would be trying to dial a telephone and not being able to get the call to go through, or not being able to remember the number, or some sort of miscommunication that's coming through in your dreams like that. That is symbolizing what's going on in your waking life. Now, when you actually successfully deal with this situation and clear up the miscommunication, that dream will go away. But in the meantime, please listen to what I'm saying on this, because that interference that you're dealing with has a fundamental reason, and that is miscommunication is playing a role in this. Go back and think about what you're saying, how you're saying it. Are there more facts that need to be brought into it? Is there a different perspective that perhaps you could draw from there? Think of all of these options, because once you clear up this communication factor, and you need to do it quickly, by the way, then everything is you will have this immediate flood of energy that goes directly to whatever it is you're focused on here and trying to achieve. And good luck with that. Okay, let's take a look at our second stack of cards. and see what your overview energy is, which is your energy right now from a broad standpoint. Let's see what's going on. Well, how nice for you if you chose this stack. Ten of Cups, you know, satiety represents fulfillment. This is the highest of the Cups cards, and it speaks of being very fulfilled and satisfied emotionally. So that's fabulous. You are feeling really good today, and congratulations on that. I'm really happy for you. But of course, you have some challenge energy here that we're going to take a look at. Even though you're in this fabulous place emotionally, there's something that's challenging you, and we're going to take a look at what it is. All right, so it's the Queen of Cups. This is very interesting. This dynamic is interesting because as the challenge card here, Queen of Cups represents emotional authenticity. She is someone who will tell you exactly how she feels and be very open and honest with you about it. But with this being in the challenge position, this could actually be some basement energy of the Queen of Cups, which becomes very selfish, self-serving. And if this is you in this position, then maybe it's time to recognize that, because while you may be feeling awesome, there may be something that needs to be addressed here. Clearly, there is something. Now, this could represent someone in your life as well, who is, even though you're feeling good about all of this, they have their own little realm going of feeling, of being selfish in their own emotions. So this is a very interesting dynamic. So Queen of Cups could represent you, whether you're male or female. It could represent someone else, or it could just be a general pervasive attitude of not being as tuned in as you might want to be emotionally. Even though you have this satisfaction going here, we're going to take a look at the third card to see what your course of action called for is, because that will enlighten us a lot. Okay, so you have the Seven of Swords. It's called futility here in the Thoth deck, and this is actually quite interesting that this should come up as the action you need to take, which means turn loose a feeling that something, that all is lost in some regard, that your actions are meaningless. They're just going to be in a, that whatever you do is going to fail. This is interesting that this is the scene that's coming up, or there are actually several scenarios here that could be happening, but overall you're feeling happy. Overall, this is a sense of real satisfaction. But what's happening here is that there's this almost self-centered nature that is challenging you, either from your own self or from someone else. And you feel like there is just no point in trying to get them to move from that position, or you haven't recognized this within yourself. What you need to do is turn loose of this fatalistic attitude, this sense of futility, and you need to move forward in bringing this energy out of the challenge, bringing this Queen of Cups energy out of the challenge realm and putting it into something that's very positive and concrete. And so, of course, how do you do that? Well, it's simple. Once, it's the universal solution to everything. Just apply a good amount of love to it, right? Because that's exactly what you need to do to move this energy. Force isn't going to work. Only love is going to work, being positive about the situation. Because whether this is you with this basement quality energy right now of the Queen of Cups, or someone else, this requires your attention. I really want you to pay attention to it, because you can shift this and probably have a big recognition of something in your life that you can shift going forward, that's going to cause you to understand something important. That's what this feels like to me. So from a dreaming standpoint, the fact that you're feeling happiness, but at the same time, there is some sort of shadow over this. This is energy that could represent flying, which of course I love to fly in my dreams, but this could be flight and where you're not really able to fly successfully, that maybe in your dream you can fly by yourself, but you're not able to lift off the ground as much as you usually can. Or maybe it's choppy air that you're sailing through. Something is causing an otherwise happy flight to be impeded, to be somehow dangerous or hazardous to you, right? Something there is, your subconscious is telling you that you need to address this. Once you do, that dream will disappear and you will have solved your problem here. You will understand how to move through this energy in a very healthy and happy way. Let's take a look at the third deck of cards, the third stack of cards. The first one we're going to look at is your overview. This is your energy from a broad standpoint. Let's see what's going on with you right now. So you have the Five of Cups, disappointment. And I'm sorry, this is how you're feeling right now. Disappointment is something that puts us in a place where we had our hopes up for something and it did not transpire. It didn't come to be. And I'm sorry about that. And this energy doesn't feel good. I know that. So we're going to quickly jump into the challenge energy to see what's going on, as if, this Five of Cups was not enough of a challenge. Let's get some clarification here and see what's going on. Okay. Yeah, all right. So if this is the Four of Wands, it's called completion. Something did not come together that you were anticipating wrapping up in a very happy way. And yeah, I'm sorry for you on this. It feels like something emotional. It feels like it could be a relationship issue where it did not go the way that you wanted it to, or that you were hoping it would. This is saying with this Four of Wands energy that something that did not get completed, did not wrap up. And it is probably emotional. It is probably something related to another person. So we're going to just dive right in and take a look at the action card, the course of action called for, so that we'll know how to deal with this. Okay. Ace of Swords, clarity. You need to gain clarity on this situation. That's what's called for right now. Nothing less than understanding. Swords represent air, represent our mental capabilities. And this is saying that it's time for you to think things through to the point that you understand where you are right now. Wands with the Four of Wands, that represents your spirit. So that's why I know that this is some sort of a relationship issue that didn't come to fruition, didn't turn out as you wanted. And then of course, Cups represent your emotional life. And so this is saying, in order to move through this disappointment energy, this very unhappy situation that you're feeling right now, you have to step back and let your heart, just be, your emotions just be for a little bit, and tune into your head and understand what is really going on. And rather than using your emotions to make decisions, use your head and figure out how you need to go forward from here. This is very much saying you need to make a plan with your head rather than your heart, because this is what is going to take you out of this energy, move you forward in the progress of all the stages of when we're unhappy, when we're grieving about something. You have to go through those stages and honor each stage. And now it's time for you to get that clarity, to gain that perspective that's going to help you move forward. From a dreaming standpoint, the fact that you do not have clarity, what is probably happening in your dreams, it would be something that is related to clouds. Something, it could be underwater and it's murky water and you're not able to move through it easily or comfortably. That's what I would guess you're dreaming about right now, because water represents conscious life experience. And that's what you're dealing with. So once you are able to think your way through it by examining your options, by looking objectively at where you are, this dream will come to an end and you'll be able to move forward, even though you know it's going to be a process depending upon the severity of the pain, the disappointment that you're feeling right now. But you can move forward, especially if you put it in your mind that you want to think this through and use your head rather than your heart right now. And I really hope you do. Okay, thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I always enjoy hearing from you. And I want to wish you a fabulous week, and thank you for joining me.